Hello and welcome back to Idle Kingdom Defense. So today, 17170, you guessed it. And before we get started, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you do subscribe, make sure you ring that bell to get all my latest videos. Yeah, that said, I mentioned in the last video I was going to consider making them back to back, but I ended up getting tired and I went to sleep. So that didn't happen. So we're at sort of close to the end of the day. We only have the expedition left to do. It's Wolf Day, so today will be much simpler than yesterday. Not only that, we are not waiting till the last minute, so there's no need to rush to try to get everything done. Yeah, yesterday was fun though. Sometimes it's fun to skirt the edge, but today we're not quite doing this as early as I liked. I wanted to do it earlier. I ended up taking a nap. I haven't been sleeping the best, but it is what it is. It comes and goes. But there's some armor stones at least. There we go. We got the armor stones on the second pole. Yeah, it's been kind of an interesting few days. I've felt kind of I don't know how to put it into words. But, like I said, it comes and goes. I've gone through this before where there's periods, and I'm sure it's happened to you too, where there's just periods you don't sleep the best. And then I'll get to the point where I sleep the best again, and it's like, how did this ever not work? Oh, some shining armor scrolls. That said, how are you doing? How are you doing in the game today? Of course, we're all here to talk about Idle Kingdom Defense. And I will buy these 5 more tickets. And there we go. We have successfully completed all of the tasks for today that are on the daily list. There's a few things left to do. Now, of course, I've already done Total War because I'm a responsible player. And, of course, we are headed into the fountain, where yesterday I got tricked and I missed Thor. I think Loki had something to do with that. But what can you do? What can you do? Again, this is a system that I've said that I dislike. Mostly because, a way to fix this would be to put a debounce time on the refresh. Yeah, I learned the word debounce, and now I'm going to use it over and over. But that's the reality of what it's called, is with no debounce time, you can press a button over and over again, but if you give a button a certain debounce time so that it has to, consider your input, it kind of prevents the problem. It's basically a timer on basically how often you can click it. Again, I still dislike that. I would like it a lot more if there was some kind of, filter you could do, That would be my ideal, is having a filter on it where it's like, okay, if I see these heroes pause for a moment before refresh or something like that, Otherwise, just let me refresh immediately. That's what I would prefer because, again, I like the randomness of it. It adds a little spice. I think the randomness is actually important to this game because if everybody had the same path, right? Here's a problem. I would have, a strict guide, okay, on day 7, you are going to get, X number of shards for Thor, and you're going to then start using Thor in your lineup, and everybody would follow a certain path in the game. So randomness to me is important to make our experiences, your experience and my experience, a bit on the unique side. However, an over-reliance on randomness is it doesn't feel like a game design because it feels like you're totally out of control of the game. So there has to be a sort of balance, a give and take. And I feel like at least with the summoning, there is a good enough balance because you have heroes you don't use, you can turn them into stones to buy heroes you can use. So there is a bit of balance there. In other parts of the game, that's weird. It remembered where I left off again. Okay, that's really spooky. In other parts of the game, the balance is not as good. For example, the rune system being strictly RNG does not feel good. There's nothing I can do to better my odds. It's not okay, as I use this mechanic, I get better at it. No. Okay, what about, come on. No. Boo. What about, a way for me to enhance the decisions I make? No. It is just, we are totally subjected to RNG from what, from what runes we get by summoning. Come on. To whether or not they enhance. And there's no way for me to alter that outcome. It's not like at least with the archer system, I can say, okay, I can use a stone here to try and enhance my odds. There's nothing you can do in this situation. And the reality is, and of course we struck out completely, by the way. And the reality is, I think it'd be fairly easy to add an enhancement like that, because what you would use is just the rune seals themselves. Either allow you to put some rune seals in to here bolster the chance of success, where using even if they made it so using the extra bonus chance of success was the same as if you kept summoning the runes, except maybe in cases where there's only one rune, like this one. Like, pretend this was like this rune, an actual rune we would summon over and over again. Like, pretend that in this case it's not worth using the extra rune seals because it's a single rune. You're going to get lots of money to summon. Whereas in this case it would be, because you get 2 runes and you really don't need the accuracy runes. So it's better to use the rune, do the summons to get enough runes here, and then use additional rune seals to bolster your chance of success. That would be an interesting mechanic that at least gives you the illusion of having, well, not the illusion, it would actually give you some, not absolute, but some control over the process. But we don't have that, anything like that. Alright, so obviously I need to dismantle. Yeah, like everything in terms of, from what I remember, I did actually clear this up. So the issue was I started like getting ready to make the video, and so I did a lot of the prep work before, and then I kind of slept, so I kind of forgot. Still no crit damage. Okay, so I don't really remember everything I prepared for with this, is what I'm getting at. However, we did at least get some more rings and orbs. We got quite a few more orbs, so we're looking good. At least on the orb front, we're looking really good. Look at all these orbs. Oh, we gotta ignore defense penetration twice, which is like the least useful stat. Because the defense penetration never comes into... it'd be one thing if having that stat, like, the castle got it, then it would at least be like, okay, well, at least the castle is getting some ignored defense penetration. That's sort of useful, makes the castle a little tanky. No, none of that works. None of the defensive stats from the heroes transfer. That actually would be kind of interesting, having the stats from the heroes transfer to the castle, but you would have to include like a secondary rune system for defensive abilities. And again, personally, I think that's overly complex, and honestly, I would like to see like most of the defensive stats on these don't mean anything for supports outside of Sophia. That's it. It's the only one. So to me, it's kind of a waste. And I guess... Oh, no, I didn't waste. All right. Oh, we're almost out of ring. Yeah, finally! Finally, we get some crit damage on this ring. This stubborn ring. Yeah, I didn't even realize that was enough to awaken. So obviously, we'll be working on the orb tomorrow. We'll probably... max the orb out, come back to the ring. But as you can see, tomorrow is likely going to be orb day, because look, we have 4 rings, and we have 12 orbs, so quite a difference there. And I still have 7,000 left over, so I didn't overuse too much. Again, it doesn't really matter, because again, let's say one day I was busy, and I disenchanted everything, which has actually happened on my alt account, but it wasn't because I was busy as much as I disenchanted everything because I was trying to reroll. Having that huge pool just means that, you save it for a rainy day. Like, if I had, a huge pool of these crystals, that's totally fine. I can just enhance these and use the crystals for a while. That's how my alt account's shaping up. That said, the excitement is building for Christian. Wow, that was really not too many levels. Well, it was between yesterday and today, it was 90. So I want to say that was probably 41. I don't know, and I'm not going to go back and check how many it actually was. But the point is, Christian is at 19,402. He hit it. He did. he finally got 21 million. I don't know if he got it yesterday or today, but he finally hit 21 million attack too. But 600 levels, less than 600 levels to go, and then we're done with Christian, and we can switch over and start working to Marian. So that is amazing news. And of course, we're gonna level up our castle. The funny thing is, I remember somebody right before he quit, he pumped his castle up as a joke to 69. What? 12.989 million. We are 11,000 away. So hopefully tomorrow we will have the 13 million castle. But anyways, back to the story. He pumped it up to 69,420 as a joke. And it is a pretty good joke because he was quitting the game. And then I thought that was like so far ahead because he used all his rubies, everything he'd saved up because he was quitting, and he did that. And now look where we are. We have surpassed it, just one day at a time. So just remember that if you ever get discouraged. That said, once again, as always, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to support the channel. If you have any questions, feel free to say something in the comments. I do always look forward to your questions. And as always, thank you again, and I hope you have a great day.